Welcome, Jesus is calling you. Chosen one. Listen closely, because something in your spirit shifted overnight, and it wasn't normal, it wasn't subtle, and it wasn't accidental. You felt something in your chest, in your energy, in your awareness, something almost electric, almost ancient, like a seal breaking or a door inside you unlocking after years of silence. You might not even have the perfect words for it yet, but your spirit knows. Last night, you didn't just feel different. Your spiritual DNA recalibrated itself. You outgrew an entire version of yourself, and whether you realize it or not, you outgrew an entire dimension of who you used to be. Number one, they underestimated you because they never truly saw how you were wired spiritually. For a long time, they looked at you through human eyes, misreading your silence, your boundaries, your exhaustion, your storms. They looked at you and thought you were breaking. They thought you were slipping. They thought you were done for. But what they didn't know was that inside you, a divine code had been building, expanding, preparing to activate. And last night, that code awakened. Something in you switched back a forgotten strength, a deeper discernment, a higher spiritual intelligence. A part of you that had gone quiet suddenly roared back to life, whispering one message: rise. And now the same people who once doubted you can no longer read you, reach you, or restrain you. Your vibration doesn't match their reality anymore. You aren't just distancing from certain people. You've spiritually outgrown the entire frequency they live in. Number two, they tried to drain you because your old self was still within their grasp. The previous version of you, the empathic, patient, overly understanding version, was accessible to them. It made you the easiest target for spiritual manipulation, emotional extraction, and energetic sabotage. They fed off your compassion. They used your loyalty as leverage. They misinterpreted your forgiveness as weakness. But overnight, something in you snapped in the most divine way. Your tolerance for low vibration behavior evaporated. The door your old self left cracked open has now sealed shut. You're not cold, you're called. You're not distant, you're divinely redirected. And the people who once drained you are now confused because they can feel that the version of you they once accessed no longer exists. They're not dealing with the same soul. They're not speaking to the same spirit. They don't have access to the same energy. You shifted dimensions and now they can't follow you into this one. Number three, people are sensing your elevation before you understand it yourself. There's a reason strangers stare at you longer. Certain people suddenly feel intimidated, and old connections act nervous around you for no obvious reason. It's because your spiritual DNA is radiating differently. You carrying a new frequency, a higher bandwidth of divine intelligence that your aura is broadcasting without you saying a single word. Spiritually blind people feel it as discomfort. Spiritually attuned people sense it as power. And broken, bitter souls feel it as a threat. You're walking into rooms and shifting the atmosphere without trying. You're making people confront the truth of their own spirit just by existing near them. This isn't confidence. This is calling. This isn't ego. This is elevation. Your energy used to blend in, but now it disrupts. It exposes, it awakens. You don't just walk in anymore, you arrive with purpose, and every soul in that space feels the shift. Number four, the attacks increased because the dimension you outgrew can't hold you anymore. Every time you elevate, lower realms try to pull you back through confusion, exhaustion, delay, or doubt. And lately, the attacks weren't subtle. They came through sudden heaviness, random sadness, old temptations resurfacing, people trying to provoke you, or situations trying to drain your peace. But the reason the attacks intensified is because you were leveling up at a molecular level. Your spirit was expanding faster than the enemy expected. The old dimension you lived in could not energetically contain who you're becoming. Think about it. The pressure got worse right before the shift. The pain got louder right before the breakthrough. The spiritual warfare got heavier right before the activation. That's how you know your elevation was real. Darkness fought you because it knew a transformation was happening in your soul that could not be reversed. Number 5. You woke up feeling different because heaven updated your internal wiring. This is why your dreams felt symbolic. This is why you woke up with clarity, or calmness, or a strange sense of direction. It's why certain names suddenly bothered you. Certain environments felt draining. Certain habits felt impossible to go back to. God rewired your senses, your discernment sharpened, your intuition heightened, your emotional intelligence upgraded. The things that once fascinated you no longer have a hold on you. The things you used to chase no longer impress you. The things you once tolerated now repel you. Your spirit evolved overnight. You became a higher version of yourself while your physical body was resting. This is why you woke up with spiritual tension at S, your old identity releasing its grip while your new identity takes full form. Chosen one. This is only the beginning. The shift you feel is not temporary. Number 6. They feel threatened because you are no longer predictable. The old version of you operated on patterns. They could exploit your kindness, your availability, your desire to keep peace. They counted on you to react the same way every time. But since your spiritual DNA shifted, you stopped responding from wounds and started responding from wisdom. You don't move out of fear anymore. You move out of foresight. You don't tolerate chaos. You recognize it instantly. You don't entertain manipulation. You cut off its roots before it grows. This sudden unpredictability terrifies the people who once thought they had you figured out. They can't anticipate what you'll say, how you'll act, or what you'll allow anymore. Your new spiritual clarity exposes their intentions before they speak, and they can feel it. They don't fear youth, they fear the new eyes God gave you. They fear the upgraded discernment that sees through illusions they used to hide behind. They fear the version of you that refuses to be controlled. Number 7. They tried to bind your destiny because your potential was always bigger than their comfort. There were individuals around you who pretended to support you while quietly hoping you never exceeded their reach. They encouraged you just enough to keep you close, but not enough to see you fly. They offered help that came with invisible strings. They pretended to care while monitoring your progress like a threat. They were comfortable with you, almost rising, but never fully rising. But what they didn't expect was that your spirit was evolving beyond their expectations, quietly, steadily, divinely. And when your spiritual DNA shifted, their grip snapped. You became too big for their box, too divine for their limitations, too awakened for their influence. They can't hold you anymore because they were never meant to hold the version of you that just emerged. God allowed certain people to see your potential, not so they could control it, but so they would witness the moment you outgrew everything they tried to confine you to. Number 8. They are feeling the consequences of mistreating someone chosen. This is the part most people underestimate: spiritual consequences. When people mishandle someone who carries divine purpose, life eventually responds. And now that your spiritual DNA upgraded, the karmic balance around your life has shifted too. The people who threw stones at you are now experiencing the weight of their own actions. The ones who mocked your struggle are now dealing with silent battles they can't explain. The ones who tried to dim your light are now stumbling in their own darkness. Not because you wished harm, but because heaven always restores balance. You didn't seek revenge. You outgrew revenge. And that's precisely why divine justice is unfolding. Your elevation triggered a spiritual mirror in their lives. They are now seeing themselves without the distortion of your forgiveness shielding them. Number 9. Some people are being removed because your new identity cannot attach to old environments. Since your spiritual DNA shifted, your soul can no longer stay where it once survived. The friendships that felt familiar now feel draining. The environments where you once found comfort now feel suffocating. The conversations you used to tolerate now feel meaningless. Your spirit is outgrowing people who stopped growing years ago. This is why you've been feeling disconnected from certain individuals, not personal. It's spiritual misalignment. You are entering a new dimensional frequency, and not everyone can follow. Some will walk away, some will betray you. Some will silently distance themselves because your elevation triggers their insecurities. Let them go. Their exit is not a loss, it is spiritual pruning. God is clearing your path for the version of you that can no longer be dimmed, drained, or distracted. Number 10. People can feel your destiny unfolding before you see it fully. Your aura is louder. Your presence is heavier in the spirit. Your potential is glowing through you, even when you're silent. This is why people suddenly stare, why some become overly kind, and why others avoid you altogether. They can't articulate it in words, but their spirit recognizes the shift. They sense that you're stepping into something bigger, a calling, a divine role that your soul always knew, but your mind hadn't fully understood. And because of this, you're noticing changes, people speaking to you differently, treating you cautiously, feeling compelled to confess things or reveal truths for no reason. It's because the shift in your spiritual DNA is activating reactions in others. Your presence is becoming prophetic. It reveals what's hidden. You don't even have to say anything, your energy speaks louder than your voice. Number 11. They are intimidated because your spirit is no longer accessible to law-level distractions. The old version of you would argue, explain, defend, or try to fix everything. But now, you feel an unexplainable peace with letting things fall apart when they no longer serve you. You feel no desire to fight for connections that don't fight for you. You are no longer pulled into meaningless debates, old temptations, or emotional traps. And this terrifies people who thrived on your reactions. When someone cannot manipulate your emotions, they lose their power. Silence has become sharper than your words. Your boundaries have become stronger than their pressure. Your detachment has become your protection. This is what elevation looks like: choosing peace over chaos, purpose over people-pleasing, and destiny over distractions. Number 12. God separated you because your next level requires a higher identity. This shift in your spiritual DNA isn't just an upgrade, it's preparation. You are being aligned with a divine purpose you were always meant to fulfill. A purpose that requires stronger faith, deeper intuition, higher wisdom, and greater clarity. God couldn't let you enter this next season with old wounds, old habits, or old identities. So He rewired you overnight. He shifted your spiritual DNA so your spirit could carry the weight of the blessings coming your way. You are no longer operating as who you were, you are operating as who you were, always meant to become *. And this version of you, this elevated, awakened, transformed version, chosen one, the shift you feel is real. Your spiritual DNA has recalibrated. Your life is about to move in ways you never imagined. Chosen one. Now listen closely, because this final part is where everything comes together. Your spiritual DNA didn't shift by accident. Heaven orchestrated this upgrade because the timeline of your destiny just accelerated. The attacks increased because the anointing increased. The isolation deepened because your elevation sharpened. The restlessness grew because your spirit refused to stay in a place your purpose had already outgrown. You have crossed a spiritual threshold that cannot be reversed, not by fear, not by doubt, not by the opinions of others. You are stepping into a realm where your voice carries weight, where your presence disrupts darkness, where your identity is no longer negotiable. And from this moment forward, every room you walk into will feel the difference. Every person who encounters you will sense the shift. You are no longer operating at the level of survival. That has moved you into the realm of assignment, authority, and alignment. Your steps are ordered. Your mind is strengthened. Your energy is guarded. Your path is illuminated. They may not understand you now, but they will witness what God builds through you. This shift in your spiritual DNA is heaven's way of saying, asterisk, you are ready. Asterisk, ready for the opportunities, ready for the breakthroughs, ready for the divine connections, ready for the chapter that will redefine your entire life. So rise, chosen one, walk boldly, move confidently. Heaven upgraded you for a reason. Now it's time to grow into the version of yourself that the universe has been waiting for. Welcome to your new dimension. And if this message ignited your spirit, join the mission, like, comment, and subscribe so this prophetic movement reaches every chosen one waking up across the world.